I guess I should probably start actually streaming and not talking about Sisyphus showing a hole after he died. Will I ask Jen to do that? She gets really nervous. I was at her parents' after school. I stopped by her parents' house. That's why the stream started a little late. And her sister was coming, and she's like, be careful when you walk up the driveway so she doesn't hit you. But in her mind, it's a very real possibility that I will be walking up the driveway and just get like Looney Tuned by her sister's car. Not that I wouldn't see her or that she wouldn't see me, but that we would both be so oblivious that I would just get like fully vehicular manslaughtered. To be fair, if I was walking in the driveway and her sister saw me, there'd be a part of her that would want to hit on the gas. Her husband ran her over. Are we sure it was an accident? By the way, I'm in a robe. I'm robing it up. It's cold, man. I want to stay like super warm. I want to be like sweating. She lived and she never let him forget it. I wouldn't. You win every argument after that. I have it's got a hood. I've got double hoodie. Let me show you. This is my first one. My second one. Do I look like a Jedi or like what? How does that look? I mean, I gotta blow it up. Yes. 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 That was warm. That was really hot. I can't do it. I'll sweat. I'll pass out. Woo! I'm already sweating just from doing that. That's warm. Take it off and show. That's what I was saying, man. Sisyphus. Original hole shower. Yeah, I need to trim my... I need to do a lot of stuff. Unlimited power! Can I go to class like this wearing a robe? You know what was funny? So in class, we're learning how to describe people, both through physical attributes and like clothing. And somebody was describing someone, it was me, and they were describing someone wearing jeans. And the first thought, I'm like, how does that narrow anyone down? And then I looked and I realized everyone other than me and the professor, everyone else is wearing sweatpants. SOS hunts are duos? Probably duos. Describe myself. Kami ga chotto. Is it short? Mijikai desu. Right now, kami o hoodie o kitemasu. Saying I'm wearing a hoodie. Currently wearing a hoodie. You dress too formally in jeans? Never heard that before? I mean, everyone else was like, it was like all sweatpants. Like I looked, I'm like, oh my God, like everyone's wearing sweatpants. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I mean, whatever, you're in college, do whatever you want. I'm wearing them now. Hoodie? I was trying, so what is it? Kiru is to wear something above your waist. So it would be kiteimasu. Is it snowing? No, but it's cold, man. What's the deal with these robes that Emperor Palpatine from Dragon's Dogma? It's just, I want to stay warm. Mononoke, the series? I've never heard of it. Series. Mononoke TV series. Yo, this looks like some Final Fantasy ass art. Does this look like Locke from Final Fantasy VI? Hold on. See that? That looks like Locke, right? Little bit. I mean, same sort of like bandana sort of thing going on. And like kind of like in the, what is it? What's the guy's art style? Watercolor art. What's his name? I forget the guy's name. I got the art book, by the way. It's getting a movie in 2023. It's kind of, I mean, it's a little old at this point, right? It's saying here, Wikipedia is saying it came out in 2007. Where could you watch it? Oh, that's interesting. The manga was published by Square Enix. Huh. How about that? A fire and stream help. Now, I am pushing the heat up in my whole house. 3 inches of snow in the UK? That could be worse. We're going to do a little SOS. We might do some... We might do some duos with Fume later if he's still here. I mean, I know he's here right now. You want apple juice? So get some. You're an adult. You've got money. Hopefully. This is such a weird game. Do I have a Rajang? What is it? 161. Oh. Oh, wow. That's actually kind of a tough one, huh? One faint? We're going to do this one. And then we'll do SOS afterwards. I mean, I don't mind apple juice, but like I get weirded out by drinking juice because like it's really just like an alternative form of soda. I think the last monster is going to be... I don't know, man. I mean, I used to really care about that sort of thing. Suzuki himself. Yeah. Rise on PS5 if your PC is garbage? I mean, I played Rise on the Xbox Series X and it played good. If Furious SOS, I need the normal Rajang for the multiplayer. Is this kind of loud? Hopefully it's great. Great Jaggers? Great Jaggers is like great Poggers. Resolution's not so good? I thought Digital Foundry said it can go over 4K. No? So it should be better than most normal PCs. I don't know. Considering a lot of people are on a 1080p or 1440p monitor, but probably have a 4K television. I'm not defending the console port in any way. I'm just saying. You know, I mean, what I saw, and I didn't watch the whole video, but from what I saw, it seemed pretty good. Fierce Rajang? He's definitely better than normal Rajang. At least, I think he's more fun to fight. Remember when we were really excited for this map coming back? I remember. I guess it's still kind of a fun map. That reach? Nope. That's bad. I know it would make no sense for them to add Velocidrome, but it would have been kind of nice to see, like, actual Velocidrome. He was the first Spee? Well, you'll have to figure out the rest of what was implied there. Oh no. You assume speedrunner? I'm making the case for it. Tell me I'm wrong. You think if we had like Greek god myths like today, there would be like a god of the internet? A god of like video games? A god of like YouTube and TikTok? May your TikToks be bountiful. May your engagement score be high. God of incels is Andrew Tate. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Coco Melon would be the god of YouTube. Bro, I went to my in-laws today. They were looking at my, my niece watching Coco Melon. Straight up, Coco Melon was on the TV. I don't know anything about that show, but man, she was watching it. Legends about NA champs? Would they be considered to have, like, magical powers or be favored by the gods? Hubris would take them down. I want to be going for the ass here, right? Nergigante content is not an Elder Dragon? Nergigante is an Elder Dragon. At one point, she got my father-in-law's phone. And she was watching some YouTube video. And, like, it wasn't inappropriate, but it was just, like, weird, man. Like, the content that gets targeted to kids. Like, it was real-life kids. Clearly having been filmed by their parents. And then, like, bubbles were put over it. Like, one kid's, like, clearly, like, stopped filming me, but they found a way to turn it into the video anyways. I don't like it. I changed it to a video about talking trucks. That was much better. Elsa Gate? It's like... It's not as bad as, like, the Elsa stuff, but it was just, like... Trying to, like, I don't even know if I have the right words to describe it. It was just, like, uncomfortable to look at. You know? Like, you want a certain level of professionalism in the kids' programming. You certainly don't want them to be watching content of kids, like, probably don't want to be involved in the videos. He wants to be Elder Dragon, not an Elder Dragon. He wants to eat Zora? I'm pretty sure he wants to chew on Zora's ass, yeah. Poppy's Playtime? Is that video game? Did I play that? I mean, that stuff is like quasi-designed for kids in a way. It is and it isn't, right? But that's probably not showing up on YouTube for kids. You'll get them next time, Francis. I played the demo. I think I played the full game. Well, episode 1 of the full game. Honestly, like, if you were to be a content creator now, like, the best thing to get into at any time is just horror stuff. It's like the lowest budget. You don't have to try that hard for anything. And, like, people will always watch it. Characters you used are nothing to do with the game. Are they, like, original characters created in like that universe. I mean, horror movies, horror games, and then go down the list. Horror YouTube. That's what you want to get into. $10,000 average viewers on Phasmophobia. Jesus Christ. Those are the people that are getting the Wild Sharks memberships or sponsorships. Get him! Francis, hit him! 10,000. That's a lot. That's a lot of words, and I can't read them all right now. But I'm sorry that happened. Or you're welcome. Huggy Wuggy Farty? What? Like, it's just the character just farting. Don't search Poppy's Playtime on YouTube. My YouTube recommended is in a pretty good place right now. Outside of the one guy that was posting a video over like the sexiest monkeys in Bloons Tower Defense 6, it's generally been pretty good. That part was bad. You don't want Gigante? I mean, it doesn't matter. You don't have to fight him if you don't want to. It's not going to be required. Can I cancel that guy? I just like blocked him from my YouTube recommended. I don't want to. This is really gross. I mean, it's only really gross because, again, like, Bloons is definitely a series that's like, you know, I mean, it's mostly for kids. The nice thing is there's very little that's like really inappropriate in it compared to like other things that are targeted at kids, you know? You feel okay about a kid playing it. Oops. That was bad. Still bad. You want Namiel? Namiel's okay, I guess. Wait, does he throw the rock and do like a backflip sort of thing? I don't have to worry about like my niece and nephew having like life-altering trauma from Bloons Tower Defense 6. They might have like concerns about camouflage patterns. That's about it. Other than being afraid of camouflage and lead. No lifelong traumas. He's gonna morb out, probably. Let's see Amatsu again, the Namiel. We'll know soon enough. I promise you they will spoil it well before the next update. You'll know. Just check. Follow Kogath on Twitter. He'll let you know in like 2 weeks. Tolf Taroth can run on the Switch. There's nothing stopping the monster from being on the Switch, but like, More than 4-player hunts? No, that's not happening. Yeah, I mean, Cult Roth isn't any larger than, like, Gazmgorm, right? Oh, yeah, she would have to be in a different map. That's a good point. Risen Valstrix looks cool. It'll be neat having Dragonheart available, I guess. Dragonheart's kind of an interesting skill. Man, I'm actually getting kind of warm doing this double robe. Working out. Yeah, I guess her lava vomit might be too much. That was a lot of damage. I mean, that was nothing compared to Strong Arm Stance, but for Surge Slash was okay. Non-monkey streamer. We're going to play more of that, like, 3D Dot Hero game later tonight. Which I guess is also not monkey. Play it more now? I would be happier playing it more now. What's that? It's an okay game. Please play it now. Where are we? 184? Let's get to like 188. Or 187. There's another Vampire Survivor clone. Nope. If you ever have played it or seen it, it's a little bit like 3D Dot Hero, except kind of sort of a roguelike with like randomly generated dungeons. Oh! Pig bats are waiting for me? I don't know if I have any pig bat quests active. I did end up unlocking some more bombs after the stream last night. I've given up and bring the whole crew. This is the life support crew. Have you ever smoked meat before? I mean, yeah, I was in college once. Sure. You haven't? How do you cook for it? Oh, cook. Like smoke isn't cook the meat. Yeah, you get like a smoker. Man, I'm hot. I gotta take the robe off. Don't ban me. Ooh, I'm like moist. I'm like moist under all the layers. Someone want to lick my chest sweat. Oh. 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 No. I'm sitting on it and I can't get up. Can't handle the Palpatine. It's too many layers, man. I got like a blanket on too. Gonna like overheat. How likely are we to get another update after 5? Likely? The next Monster Hunter game is probably not until 2024. So we will probably get a title update every 2 months through the end of the year. I don't know. I mean, it's my guess. I could be wrong. What's it matter if I'm wrong? It's actually nothing. 2 to 3 months? 4 months. I don't know. Whatever. We're not getting another Monster Hunter this year. So. 6 months at least? Who are the people in chat thinking like, there's no way. There's no way Capcom, the multi-billion dollar company with several hundred people in the Monster Hunter staff, could ever possibly maintain a release schedule of porting a former monster into their new game every 2 to 3 months. That would be impossible. That's way too much work. All right, yeah, I'm the idiot. Do I want that? I don't really care, but I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. It's very possible I'm wrong. And it's fine if I am. But it's likely. What do I want? I want content in my Monster Hunter game that is challenging for people, and I could coordinate playing with people from my community or other strangers, and we could feel challenged. And that at the end of completing said challenge, there's a reasonable reward that we're happy that we got. Scorned Magnum Mauler. Play with my community? Occasionally. I've been known to. I think this actually might be better. It's got more attack. This has Kushala Blessing. We'll take this one. Does Capcom make money off of my wishes? I mean, again, like every title update is also an opportunity to sell. I'm leaving this quest. I don't like that person. It's an opportunity to sell more cosmetic DLC. Nah, there was some like hate speech going on in that character. Pulling out all my stock. Oh, some of you might have missed this discussion. I technically own more stocks of Capcom than like actual board of directors of Capcom. In that there is like one board of director that owns less than 1,000 shares, and there's multiple people on the board of directors that have 0 shares. That can't be true? I posted the link in the Discord last night. I'm going to get to 1,000. And then, actually, I might get up to 2,000 this year. Well, here's the deal. I might have 2,000. Ryozo has like 9.7 million. When I say board of directors, I mean the management committee. He actually has, I'm not saying it's embarrassing, but it's interesting. He actually has more shares in the company than his older brother. This is very interesting. Ryozo has 6,183,000 shares. Oh no, never mind, it changed. His older brother is 6,199,000. Do I have shares in Capcom? I have almost 1,000. It's the same people. I don't want to play with these people. Why do I keep getting put into their quest? I'll just do something solo. No one else is playing. I literally got joined in the same quest twice. That's really sad. Do I have the region unlock mod? This is with the region unlock mod, yeah. One share is 30 euros. 1,000 shares is 30,000 euros. You must be looking at the Japanese stock. I've got the one on the US stock exchange. Am I okay? Like, what do you mean, am I okay? I'm fine. I'm investing in my future and in Capcom. I'm up for saving again. I'm going to do this one solo. I'm going to make one more attempt at SOS, and if that fails, we'll duo. It's been a very good stock. I'm worried about what I'm going to say. Like, I'm worried I'm going to get like an SEC violation on my stream. I'm going to get audited, but it has done very well in the past several months. Am I investing in my future? It is 100% for me. I genuinely think it's a good company that is able to produce a great profit. The only thing that would be better than Capcom is finding like indie game companies that actually make good games and buying stock there. But if the Capcom site doesn't differentiate between the two different exchanges, like what if like my US stocks are worthless? Well, that'd be unfortunate for me. Thanks for that one cart quest. You're welcome. Yeah, that would be tough. Put money into Sega? Sega did a E.T. So those of you that don't know, you're probably at least familiar with E.T. the movie. It's about the little alien and Drew Barrymore, the kid. And he's a little alien. You gotta like save. E.T. wants to go home. And so it's about a little alien who wants to go home to his alien planet. He develops a friendship with a kid, and the government wants to take E.T. and do all this bad stuff to E.T. So, what the hell am I talking about? Okay, so a company bought the rights to E.T. to make into an Atari video game. And in the process of making the rights, and this had to be like some sort of like a money laundering scam, they ended up producing more copies of E.T. on the Atari console, like physical cartridges, than there were actual consoles of Atari. So it would have been unlikely to flat out impossible for them to ever sell out the entire stock. And it became emblematic for like what has been referred to as like the great video game crash of 1982, 1983. It was at the point where basically, you know, business analysts and such thought that the fad of video games were over and that we would never see video games again. So much so to the point that when Nintendo decided that they were going to get into like the video game market, they didn't brand themselves necessarily as a video game. They branded themselves as a computer for your family. That's why it was the Nintendo Famicom. Family computer. And interestingly enough, they had a lot of like very interesting add-ons. You had a modem. And at one point, they even let you bet on horse racing. And they even let you make exchanges on the Japanese stock exchange with your Famicom. Why did I just attack this Valstrix? I have no idea what I'm doing. What the hell was I talking about? Video games. Help me out here. I was making a connection to something else and I forgot what I was talking about. Now, hold on, give me a second. It's coming back. Sega. Oh, so yeah. So Sega in the late 90s, early 2000s had made the Dreamcast, their final console. And they did very similar to the E.T. investment by that company with Atari in that they developed Shenmue, which at the time was quite possibly the most expensively produced game forever that was developed before. It's probably been beaten since. But it was the sort of thing where if every single Dreamcast owner bought a single copy of Shenmue, like, they might have broken even. And they didn't. They did not do that. I mean, it was a popular game, but it wasn't like, you know, didn't completely transform the game industry, although it did add QTEs. And it did have good face tracking. So I wouldn't invest in Sega because, you know, they don't necessarily have good business sense. The next best company to Capcom would probably be Nintendo. Nintendo also has a dividend, I believe. I mean, Shenmue was good. I played it. I enjoyed it. You know, I wanted to play Shenmue 2, but by the time Shenmue 2 came out, it didn't even get localized for the US. You had to buy like it got like an EU release. It was funny. So, depending on your perspective, Shenmue was a game that took place in Japan where everybody spoke English. And then Shenmue 2 was a game where a Japanese person was hanging out in Hong Kong and everybody was speaking Japanese. Kind of funny. They didn't do any text localization for a while. I think for Microsoft ended up bailing it out. There was like a release on the original Xbox that I think added a English translation. But yeah, video games, investments, definitely don't go with your heart. Even though it seems like I'm going with my heart with Capcom, I just think they're an undervalued company. Like, I look at the value of Capcom and then I see like the market value of companies like EA and Blizzard, you know, Activision. And like, yeah, like they've got some very good properties that are definitely going to turn a profit every year, but it feels like they're overvalued. If Berserk, you see people optimize it poorly and end up just dying. That makes sense. Yeah, you gotta have a way to keep yourself alive. How about Square Enix? Square Enix keeps releasing games, some of which are interesting, some of which are terrible, and they keep losing money. Square Enix to me almost feels like it's some sort of like money laundering scam. Buy the dip? Capcom PE is around 20. Yeah, I know. I think it's undervalued. Square Enix is Final Fantasy XIV, but like all that needs to happen is for Yoshi P to get sick of some manager, leave the company, and then like they're screwed. Why not ETF developing index funds versus Capcom? Index fund versus Capcom. Well, oddly enough, I have a rather aggressive index fund for technology right now. And Capcom is lifting my entire portfolio up because that is currently crapping the bed. Now, I'm optimistic in the long run. I'm optimistic in the long run for it. But right now, it is definitely crapping its pants. Not financial advice? Yeah, don't do anything I say. Well, again, like Square Enix is also the company that said we're going to go all in into, you know, like broadcast, like I'm not sure, is broadcast media the right term? Entertainment media? Dumped a ton of money into getting like animators and film writers and stuff. And ended up making like the most bizarre movie ever with like Final Fantasy Spirits Within. So much so that they had to get bailed out, and that's why they're Square Enix. Like Square and Enix used to be like kind of like competitors. And then they're like, oops, we've almost bankrupted ourselves with this movie. I mean, Advent Children was nice for a fan project, and Spirits Within, like, isn't awful, but it was not a mainstream movie that was going to make them, like, $500,000 or whatever, or $500 million. You know, because it wasn't like a movie that was going to be, like like you would think of when you think of a Final Fantasy. Like it didn't have a mix of like fantasy and like kind of steampunk and kind of some other stuff. It wasn't like, you know, kind of kiddie toned down so that you could appeal to kids. It was some weird like abstract like what is life really, what happens when we die sort of movie, like really depressing. Wasn't the sort of thing you'd bring and then like tell your buddy at work, like, oh, you got to take your kids to see this, they'd love it. Or like, oh wow, like this is a great date movie. James Woods was there. I don't know too much about that, but it was ill-conceived in many different ways. Ill-conceived from the script alone. I remember watching it and like feeling like a continual like dis-ease. Evil Crow, thank you. Like the ghosts touch you and then like you die. It was kind of like if you've seen turn of the century Japanese ghost movies, they were like really popular about there being like the whole like kind of ghost in the shell sort of thing. Like ghosts are going to come out, the despair is going to touch you, and then you're going to lose your ability to live. And it was like that, but like a Final Fantasy movie. Spirits Within is going to become canon in Final Fantasy VII Remake. I wouldn't be surprised if there's one of the people from the team still kind of around in a way. Well, I mean, Death Stranding, like, is fine. It's a mature game for mature audiences that had enough clout and everything else to take risks. Like, nobody that enjoys Metal Gear was going to be really put off by it. Shouldn't watch Spirits Within. Maybe you should. It's not a great movie. It's not terrible. I mean, it's one of those movies that, like, for the sake of history, it's kind of interesting to be able to engage in the media that caused Squaresoft to become Square Enix. So in that regard, yeah, maybe check it out. So, like, yeah, Advent Children was amazing, but, like, you know, was that ever going to recoup them costs? Like, it never got, as far as I know, it never got a theatrical release. Maybe in Japan it did. I don't remember it having a theatrical release in the US, though. You own a UMD disc of Advent Children? When's the last time you watched it? Straight to DVD? Wow. I know you said straight to dad, and I should have probably. High school? Hell yeah. I remember watching it. It was okay. I remember watching it being like, this is all right. Saw it at a LAN? It's the sort of movie that'd be really fun to watch with like a group of people that enjoyed anime, yeah. Favorite shows? Like a pro of nothing? I don't know. When you say favorite shows, it makes me think like of like daytime soap operas, and I don't even know how to answer that question. I like watching trash. Is Elemental Charge Blade good? Yeah, does more damage than normal Charge Blade or Impact File. Think it's anime? I mean, it had some combat scenes. They do enough to introduce the characters if you never played the game before. But yeah, my general investment feeling on Capcom is like, I don't know of many other quote-unquote AAA studios that I think can continue to make good or compelling video games. Nintendo is kind of like an exception to that. But other than Nintendo, like Square Enix is too hit or miss. Sega, you know, obvious financial issues. I don't even know if you can still invest directly in Sega. You know, I would never invest in any Western studio. It's too many, you know, like, the concern is it's just going to be like, you'll find out in a week or two that, like, it's filled with sex pests. Best shows you've ever seen. I like Haikyuu. Who cares about video games when it comes to investments? It's about money. I mean, you know, if a company makes good video games, I mean, they'll probably make a profit. It's shocking to me sometimes, comparably, how few games Capcom sells. You know, like Animal Crossing sold like 40 million titles, right? 40 million copies. You know, the best-selling individual release ever is Monster Hunter World. It hasn't even hit 20. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard just barely over 10 million. Senpai Kohaiola. Yeah, I guess maybe they're like a little bit... Like, everybody knows about Resident Evil, but that doesn't mean necessarily you want to play the game. I guess they're like a little bit of an enthusiast company when you think about it. Like, I don't think any of the Phoenix Wright games have even sold 1 million copies. I'm checking right now to see. A lot of Resident Evil. Dino Crisis sold 2.4 million. I'm not seeing... And Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy sold 1.9 million. Wow. Okay. There we go. It did it. I think that's it, though. I think that's going to be the only one. Mega Man 2 has sold 1.51 million. That game, that's a pretty good game. That's a good one. 2 is a good one. 1 is kind of bad. 2 is great. Original release of Dragon's Dogma only sold 1.3 million copies. Almost bankrupted Capcom. There was a lot of games that they produced that were like, we got to sell 1 million copies or our company's going to go bankrupt. Back in the day. I don't think they've got that worry anymore. I think they're a little bit more focused now, but there was definitely like a period of time where it was like... Have you seen the Dragon's Dogma Online news? How recent is it? Is it worth to play Monster Hunter World again from the beginning? Yes. That's the best way to play Monster Hunter World. No, it's the is it recent? I saw something a couple weeks ago where some asshole game journalist posted a thing of like some random beta test and said, it's time for everyone to play Dragon's Dogma Online. It was like literally just some short video clips that one of the developers of like the private servers were talking about. They need more marketing for their games? Well, the NA office, they outsource a lot of the marketing and it shows. Fan thing will bring back Dragon's Dogma Online to the West. Yeah, so what you read was a very lazily written and produced article that does nothing other than put the project in jeopardy. But yes, I did see that article and it pissed me off. You were hyped? I mean, it's been common knowledge for a year. But it does nothing to benefit the game in any way. This is concerning. The rule about private fan projects is unless it's released, you just gotta shut up. I don't mean you specifically, but you gotta shut your mouth. Can't talk about it. It's not a good idea. You know, and we're lucky to have Capcom because they're, all things considered, incredibly tolerant. But I mean, it's tolerant up until a point, you know? You know, if you're gonna like dangle it in their face and be like, ah, Capcom, look at what we're playing. Like, they have to do something eventually. I don't even blame Capcom for that. I mean, they got to defend their IP or whatever. You know, I think if that was Super Mario World Online, I mean, it would have gotten an instant DMCA. You know, I mean, that being said, like, you know, I do get it. Like, it is a little confusing, a little baffling. You've got a project. It's now impossible to be played in any way. I mean, just for the sake of, like, the preservation of art. And I'm not saying, like, Monster Hunter whatever or Dragon's Dogma Online is, like, art on the scale of Mona Lisa, but that doesn't mean that the value may not be any less important to certain people. You know, people should have the ability to enjoy it. If there's no legal way to play it, like, what else are you going to do? Oh, Nintendo's the worst. Yeah. And especially because, like, you could have purchased a license to play Super Mario 3 on your Wii. But you can't even, like, the Wii servers are shut down. Like, you can't even play the game you spent money on to play. All these title updates have made monsters harder than the previous ones. Fume, you still around? Still want to play? Roll 2-man? Fume's not around. I'll let someone else in. I want to do more than 2-man. How is that a skill issue? I showed up on the scene and somebody got their face melted by Velkhana. That wasn't even me. That was someone else. Valstrax, not Velkhana. Look, I can't help it, all right? My brain is melting. Fuma's here. Hold on, I'm using the update brain. It's bad. Punished for twice cheating us. He pushes a boulder forever. Life is art. Oh, you like the title? You're welcome. Rise melts anyone's brain after a while. Feels bad. You have to be almost there. Am I 195? No, I'm like 180 something. 185? I want to get up to like what? Let's say 188. Hold on, let's see what his AR is. He might have actually gotten past me. $164. You run out of typing space on the title? Maybe a little bit. So do I gotta post it at 164? I think so. I think that's what that means. This one? I need to adjust the clip. There we go. I can post up to 180? Oh, really? It's like, it's really confusing. That is like a very confusing system. That's not me, right? That's just like bizarre. Did I never make a Invincible set for ice. It's like too confusing. It makes sense if you remember the ice items show up. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible to figure out. I am saying it is confusing, though, and I'm going to stick by that. Is this even good? No. I'm going to use hammer. I like the hammer. See nothing forever? Nope. I don't watch a lot of media. I've been playing a lot of video games lately. Is it possible to join from PCM? A private military company? Do I think Velkhana will be a step up in difficulty? Velkhana is AR10. What do you want me to tell you? It'll probably have a lot of life. From PC? It is, but I'm just doing right now. Do I have space for guild cards? If this were Monster Hunter World, I wouldn't. Is this seriously all of the guild cards that I have? That is depressing. That's messed up. Yeah, I got room. I think people sent me and I just never received them. Doesn't matter. I don't know why it compiles shaders randomly now. See, I've been playing a lot of video games lately, and I've just been having a great time. I spent 4 hours either earlier this week or like almost exactly a week ago trying to get good old games to work on my Steam Deck so that I could play Greedfall. I couldn't get it to work. And then I noticed I own the game on the Humble Choice bundle from like a couple months ago, and I just installed it that way. I've been playing that. I streamed it once. It's a good game. I don't think it's a great stream game. Greedfall? It's like, kind of like turn of the 19th century-esque, like Age of Discovery sort of setting. You go to a new land. There's like a mysterious disease. You know, like melee combat, like guns, technology, magic, that sort of thing. Any chance of me trying Elden Ring? I'd have to buy it again. Greedfall was wild? I think it's pretty good. I mean, you know, all things considered. I've definitely played way worse games. 19th century, 18th century, 17th century? Whatever. There was a while. Greedfall starts with the tentacle fight with the crashed ship. I haven't gotten there yet. There was a guy that came out of a ship. We streamed Elden Ring when it came out. I played more Strangers of Paradise probably than Elden Ring. It's nothing personal, I just... Wait. Wow, that was a very intense roar. Fume, I'm sorry. We did end up beating Melania. We did not use spirits. We did use one of the blood weapons. But we earned that one. It was very good. That bleed damage on her is powerful. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be, like, relevant within the lore of the story. Morg, I would argue, is a better boss than Melania. It's much more enjoyable. Will I play Wild Hearts? If you ask me that question, you're required to tell me. It's a law if you work for EA or not. I'm like going mega brain warning right now. Forgot to go in the wrong way. Will I have wild shards? I'm thinking of making a bunch of pulled pork out of pork loin next week. So maybe. You do not? Oh. Well, just in case you too. Absolutely. I love Wild Hearts, and I cannot wait to play it. Man, I would sure love to get a sponsorship for Wild Hearts. It would allow me to invest so much more money back into my community and videos on Wild Hearts, my favorite game, coming out February 17th. Get 10 hours, 3 days early with EA Play, early access, available as a individual subscription or with a Game Pass Ultimate subscription. Here I am groveling. Honestly, I just want them to add hit stop to the game. And blood. just add some hit stop and blood, and like actually my opinion actually would change dramatically. The tiger boss making generic tiger sounds. I mean, I have played and reasonably enjoyed Tokenin before. I am expecting the same level of enjoyment out of Wild Hearts. I will play it. 6 months from now, we will all say, man, you remember Wild Hearts? That sure was a game we played for 2 weeks back in February. Mind you, they have said some things that are actually kind of heartening about their DLC and paid monetary transaction model after it comes out. I'm fine with 2 weeks. Not every game has to be a forever game. Can I join the lobby? No. Nothing personal, just it becomes a clown fiesta after 2 people. Two weeks, very optimistic. I mean, I think it's reasonable to think there'll be 2 weeks of content. I'm going to say it's okay for us to slam him. Because I hate you personally. No. It's just like, you know, if I'm just going to do 4-man grinding, like I may as well just do it, like just take a bunch of drugs or alcohol and do it off stream. Get 4 people all eating tortilla chips at the same time while Pierce light bowgunning something. Seen the ads for the Cocaine Bear movie? Seen the ads, brother. We got sponsored to play the Cocaine Bear trailer. I have been paid money to educate the world about the Cocaine Bear. My favorite off-stream drug or alcohol? No drugs. You know, I can't really drink because I don't stop when I do, but like every once in a while I will enjoy a glass of wine. My favorite type of wine? Pinot Noir, but what we get the most is a blend from Franzia, a boxed wine, and the blend is called Bold and Jammy. And every time I talk about the wine with Jen, I say, I'm going to do a Bold and Jammy in my pants. And she usually laughs at that. Sometimes I say, have you Bold and Jammied in your pants? It's just a funny words. Funny words that go together. It's okay. It's like $18 for like a box, which is like 5 liters of wine. It's not terrible. $3 a liter. I don't know if anyone else has any other things. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, the bear it's based on, I guess, did just die. Did not actually go on a cocaine-fueled rampage. Looks like it's going to be pretty violent. It's Arzuros before they nerfed his tracking. Funny and horror? That was my issue with snakes on a plane. The premise is ridiculous, but the actual movie itself wasn't really that funny. It was really like, it was clearly made to be more of like a horror movie than like a funny movie. Like even the scene of like the guy going in the bathroom and the snake is coming out to bite his pee-pee ends up being like kind of scary and not like funny. I mean, there were some other funny moments. Scary or exciting? I mean, I remember watching it. What was it? I was in a movie theater in Hong Kong. And apparently other theaters nearby, I don't think mine was, but some of them were like, they'd sent people with like instructions, almost like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like you were supposed to like do certain things at certain times throughout the movie. Which I don't even know how Rocky Horror Picture Show got all those things together, but it was clearly like over many years, a lot of jokes just got compiled. It's not really the sort of thing you'd be like, hey, do this, it'll be funny. It's weird. I still remember on my way into the movie theater, I remember hearing like 2 European men, and they were having a very serious conversation. And the other one, in the most serious, like most pleading way possible, instructed his friend to, quote, do not be afraid of the vibrations. What does that mean? What vibrations? And why would you be afraid of them in the first place? You're right, Detro. Don't be afraid of it. No, these were not cool vibrations. These were apparently scary vibrations. Yeah, I don't know if they had just seen I don't know if they'd seen snakes on a plane. Not sure if you guys read it. We were talking about it in the Discord earlier today. I guess there was a small social media spat in Japan where people were going to the conveyor belt sushi places and like licking the sushi or like licking their fingers and poking the sushi. Not good, man. It's going to be big trouble. It's just kind of weird. Like, people want to get like that internet clout, and yet it's like never been easier to like track people down. Like, what are you doing? No, I believe they were Japanese, actually. Westerners were literally just allowed back into the country, like, not that long ago. They called it sushi terrorism. I'm looking at the article again now. Well, he appears Japanese, but then also the picture that I see, or they have dyed their hair blonde. So, who's to say? Hama Sushi announced their plan to replace their conveyor belts with a straight line to zipline sushi orders to diners? They're going to slingshot the sushi into your mouth. I'm kind of into that. Just shoot a t-shirt cannon. Just gape your mouth as big as you can and wait for the fishy surprise to explode in there. Don't quote that out of context, please. No, yeah, the context is understood in that statement, right? I mean, I'll probably go though. I mean, I'll definitely go to conveyor belt sushi in Japan. I don't think I went the last time I went, but that's, you know, it seems like fun. I don't think it's that expensive. Like, what is it? Like 100 yen, 200 yen, 300 yen per plate? Something like that. What's the normal price? And it has to be at least 100 yen plate. Unless, like, inflation's gotten bad. Which maybe it has. San Francisco? I mean, but like, can you even compare like San Francisco pricing to Japanese pricing? You know what I mean? My main goal is that there's this type of place. I'm going to go with Noxella. It's like 20 bucks and you go to this little alley and it's all you can eat and all you can drink for like 2 hours. And you can just like run around the alley going to all the different places. I like that. I like that idea a lot. Alley sushi? There might be sushi. Rotating sushi? Excellent. I've been really bad with my Wani-Kani. But I'm in actual class now, so I've got to, like, focus on the things that I gotta learn, I guess. What level am I on? I don't think I even got to level 3. I might be at level 3. It's not a very good self-study here, I'm gonna be real with you. I need a strict teacher to yell at me and give me homework assignments. You know, the nice thing is at least I'm willing to admit it, you know. There's nothing worse than going throughout your life in, like, complete denial. You're suffering and struggling, you don't understand why. At least I know I suck. Like, you know, there's, like, a small comfort there. It's not like I suck at the language. I just suck at like studying by myself without like a course structure. And I never thought like remote learning was this bad, but I did do one class by remote and it was like the worst thing I ever did. You'd rather be oblivious? Nothing wrong with that. Seems more fun. Yeah. Look at your face. Do I need to heal? This must suck until we break her face. I only took one class remotely this last semester, and it was just like terrible. I think it's especially bad for a language because like you can't really hear what anyone's saying. So if somebody asks you a question, you have to first like try and figure out what the hell did they even say. And then you need to like think, okay, if that's what they said, then what do I say and respond? And you got to say it back to them, and then do they understand you, right? It's just like a bad game of telephone. Just ask. I guess you had a better experience through Zoom. I mean, it could be that they just like really cheaped out on the microphones. They don't seem particularly good. Yeah, I mean, literature and history. I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, all right, this might sound funny. Like, if it were like a class taught through like YouTubers, no problem. I could correspondence learn if it was like a class taught by a YouTuber, because you know they're gonna balance the audio right, the lighting's gonna be okay, the pacing's gonna be okay, the slides are gonna be on screen long enough, like all those things. Like, it'll be okay. Nah, for me, there was no tracking. The worst part about it, and like I swear to God, I was getting trolled by the teacher, is that when I called in, she took my camera feed and like blew it up on the projector. And she was like, everyone say hello to Shepard. And like my bulbous goblin head was on display for everyone to look at. And like, I don't want that. It's like embarrassing. Like, one thing if you guys have it for the stream or whatever, but it's different. You come here for my bulb. Like, I don't want my head inflicted on people. Does that make any sense? Did I call into my stream camera? Of course I did. What else am I going to call in on? Should have made it wide? That's a good point. I would have to create a virtual camera for Zoom, but next time I will. When I did the TA session, I did it remotely yesterday. And the TA is like, whoa! Is that your stream camera? The quality's so good. I was like, yeah. He's like, is that anime behind you? I'm like, yeah. I told him he should read and watch Hajime no Ippo. That is really good. I didn't tell the part where Ippo's got a massive penis. That's something he's got to learn for himself. It's actually like, the quality has gone down massively, like in the last 10 years. But, you know, between like 1989 and like 2000, some quality material. I put the nutsuit on for them. Maybe by the end of the semester. Man, Afflicted, Rathian kind of sucks. I mean, there was some New Year's chapter. I think it was last New Year's chapter or the year before where, was it George? George Morikawa is the author? Where he was like, yeah, sorry I haven't really known what I've been doing the last, like, bunch of years, but I think I know what I'm gonna do now. And, like, on one hand, you're like, sweet! We're finally gonna get somewhere with something. And on the other hand, you're like, so what have you been doing, dude? How'd you mean Open help you through high school? I mean, yeah, it's just a good story, man. You know, it's unfortunate because, you know, part of the displeasure comes from the author trying to do something new. And, like, it's very understandable. You know, if you've been asked to do the same thing every day of your life, every year of your life forever, you do want to, like, get a little variety in there occasionally. You know, he's entitled to that. He's definitely earned it. But at the same time, it's like, it's like not enjoying it. You probably worked in the anime side of things? I mean, but, like, really, though? I mean, it was just, like, adaptations of the manga. It wasn't, like, original stuff. There wasn't even, like, a ton of it. I guess the other thing that kind of sucks about Rathian is the fact that you can't really spiral thrust anywhere. I mean, ultimately, it's like, you know, he's been riding for what? Since 1989? Is that 30 years? More. 34 years? What is he in his, like, late 50s? He's just going into, like, his kind of sort of retirement phase. You know, the awkward thing about, you know, Hajime Nippo and, like, a love interest is, like, there's other manga out there, sports manga even, where, like, within the first season of an anime adaptation, they have a girlfriend, they have a healthy relationship, and it's not the center of the story, it's just a side thing, and they cheer each other on, and they're happy for each other. Like, why is that so hard? That's okay. It doesn't have to be, like, a big thing, but, like, in Hajime no Ippo, it's just bizarre. They, you know, people have grown up reading the manga, gotten married, had children, and their children have had children. And yet he's still footing around whether or not he can, like, really ask the nurse girl out on a date. Bizarre. I mean, at this point, that arc happened, like, 15 years ago, Dutch Potato. That's not even, like, a recent arc. It's, like, 20 years old. The good parts of Ippo make it worth it. It's worth watching, I mean, the anime adaptation's good, too. The mangas, they're both good. The manga and the anime are both great. There's some movies, too, that are good, too. I'm fine with there being a love triangle if that's, like, well done. You know, if you got to make a choice. But this isn't even like, oh, she doesn't support his boxing. Or, like, he doesn't have the time to take her out on dates. It's just like we are adult babies who are unable to express our feelings, and we've been doing this for 30 years. You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like, it'd be one thing if it's like, I gotta choose boxing over a relationship. Like, I don't have time. He's got time. That's not a problem. And like, there's other sports anime and sports manga where they find the time. You know, Baby Steps is great. That's a good, it used to be on Crunchyroll. They delisted it. It's a tennis anime / manga where like the main character is talented at tennis. He's trying to get better at tennis. His girlfriend also plays tennis and is good at tennis, and they like kind of help each other get better at tennis. It's not a big deal. It's just a thing that they do. She's like a natural, and he's somebody who's got to work hard, and like they can give each other good advice. It's bizarre. I'm not saying the anime, manga's got to switch over to like Ippo flopping out his massive elephant dong and like banging on like a 2-page spread. Just, oh wow, these are some good ones. Just, have an adult relationship because they're both adults. They're adults that have jobs. They don't live with any. Ippo lives with his mom. The girl lives with her like brother. I don't know what happened. I pushed the wrong button. I apologize. Streamer can't relate to having massive penis anxiety. They give him a hard time about it. I don't know if the girl's brother is aware that Ippo has a massive dong. That would be a good arc. See, that would be a great arc where they're living together and then they all go on vacation somewhere to like an onsen. And then he sees Ippo coming out of the onsen with his massive dong. And he's like, "You're doing what to my sister? With that?" That would be awesome. I'm gonna apply to be a mangaka there. I'm gonna give George ideas for arcs. Help him out. That'd be great. It'd be a great arc. Water's technically better, right? I mean, everybody in the gym has seen him naked, and they're all aware of his massive dong. If this has got more raw, I'm going to use this. Actually, I'm going to keep using Thunder. It's better in the raw. And again, like, I say this as an internet clown. It's not easy to constantly come up with new, interesting content, And especially for a manga artist, it's not just the story. You got to come up with the art and the panels and the storyboards. It's like insane. His mom sewed his name in Romanji on his shorts, but it was spelled Impo. What? What does that mean? Like an imp? I don't remember that, but that's really funny. I don't remember. I mean, look, it's a lot of manga, and it's been a long time. Impotent. Ippo is definitely not impotent. Ippo is swinging around like... He's swinging around a weapon of mass destruction. I think it was just a mistake. He is not impotent. And the only way he might be impotent is if he, like, loses blood to his head. Because too much blood got diverted downstairs and he passed out. Think it was intentional? I don't think so. Ippo's mom loves Ippo. They've got a very nice relationship. We're talking about Hajime no Ippo's massive dong and how in Hajime no Ippo, I wish they don't have to like, slam it out on the pages, but it's been long enough. It's been 30 years. It's time for him to have like an adult relationship. You read it in 5 years. The new stuff is actually pretty good. I could recommend it. And by the new stuff, I mean the stuff that's been like going down like the last 6 months-ish. Seems good. Is there still homoerotic tension with his rival? That is nearly entirely one-sided. But yeah, I mean, they're just gonna cock tease that forever. Which is like unnecessary. Like, you can fight again without it having to be the last time you fight. It feels a little bit like, in case of emergency, re-release Final Fantasy VII again. Like, just let them fight. It doesn't even matter who wins. I don't want to be talking negatively too much about the anime and the manga, by the way, because like I said, it is one of my favorites. Like, I got that display. It really is amazing. It's just like, as of current, although it is getting slightly better recently, you just got to think of it kind of like Death Note or plenty of other manga that were like great until they kind of stopped being great. And you got to enjoy the good parts and try not to think too much about the bad parts. And that's it. That's all you can do. Well, it's clear Volg is loved because, like, they keep bringing him back. Like, there's been, like, I think there's been almost more matches fully illustrated and draw of Volg in the last 10 years than there have of Ippo. Death Note ended and ended well, too. I disagree. But, we don't have to agree. But it ended, thank God. To me, it felt like after that first arc, they didn't really know what to do. I'm dead. See you guys. I love you. I'll miss you. So if again, like, let's stay away from spoilers. We don't know who's ever read or watched Death Note. We don't want to spoil anyone necessarily. If you take the pacing of the anime, right? So like, the first half and then the second half. The first half was great. Honestly, I think it's great. I know some people might laugh and be like, "Oh, streamer likes Death Note," but I thought it was really well done. Second half was garbage in comparison. But what are you gonna do? It is what it is. It felt to me like the mangaka wanted it to end after the first half because that's what he had like storyboarded up to, and then obviously it got really popular and it was very popular, right? And it was merchandise, and they were gonna like animate and all this stuff, and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna make more of this, right?" And he's like, "How much are you gonna pay me?" And he got paid, and they made it, and it would have been better for it to just end. But again, like it's not my choice. It's not my manga to write. It's not the They could have turned Dragon Ball Z into, like, Goku eating cheeseburgers on a couch. Never fight again. If they wanted. Oh, okay, yes. Okay, yes, I agree with you. The fact that they actually ended Death Note and, like, Death Note is not currently in publication in 2023, yes, I agree with you. 100%, thank God it ended. And it could have, in that regard, it could have been so much worse. You think about, like, Case Closed or whatever it's called in Japanese? How it's, like, still going on? He's still, like, a weird little bug-eyed freak kid? Yeah, all right. Detective Conan? Sure. And like, I'm sure the series is good, by the way. I'm sure it's actually, I bet it's still good. I have no doubt it's still good. But it is awkward, you know, because it just keeps going. I'm sure it's fine, Truthbinder alone. You just have to take it for what it is, like it's slice of life stuff, right? Or whatever. You want to see the new mystery. Stop watching after episode 400? That's a lot of episodes. Even if it's only good up to episode 400, I mean, that's still like, that's a lot. That's gotta... You're sad when they stopped doing dub? I can't even remember the last time I went out and specifically watched a dub. For the most part, it's still pretty much just Cowboy Bebop. It's been a long time since I've watched Cowboy Bebop. Detective Conan, do they got Twitter in it now? Yo, that's wild, man. When are they gonna have TikTok in the show? They gotta find the kids that lick the sushi? The case of the devious lick? They stole a furnace! Take Devious Lick over Tide Pod any day? Or at least with the Devious Lick. Well, I don't know. Tide Pod, there's a certain poetic justice. Devious Lick could be costing taxpayers money. We all know how I feel about that. Depends how devious the lick is. If it's going to show up in my tax bill, I am not a fan of it. Devious Lick? It was a social media / TikTok trend where you were going to your school and stealing something. I think it was school. I may not have 100% correct. Anywhere. So you could have gone to like Walmart, straight up stolen money or something, and like, haha, look at this devious lick. I took this PlayStation 4, and people are like, wow, cool. Well, it wasn't just stealing, it was stealing and then posting it on social media. Which, I don't, if you're gonna commit a crime, like, should you really post it? Wasn't that a deal with, like, I don't want to get accused of slander, but wasn't it like Winona Ryder or whatever? She got into just, like, stealing randomly for no reason? I have no idea why I attacked this Valstrex. Steal a napkin from a restaurant because it's funny? Like, don't they just give you the napkins? Like a cloth napkin? I mean, I guess it's mostly harmless. Steal the whole tablecloth? Yeah, that's what would happen. You would steal the napkin, you'd post it on Twitter, and then Ostahista would have to up you and steal the whole tablecloth. And then Truthbinder would then have to come in and steal the whole table. That's the escalation that would be required for the devious lick. And then one of you would have to do like a confidence scam and steal the whole restaurant from the owner. I'm trying to focus here briefly. I feel like he's about to kick our ass. Okay, he's not. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't like the idea of small business owners getting screwed over. Talking about screwing over, my father-in-law's electricity bill, I told you guys earlier that the power company in our state was like basically doubling the electrical rates. Well, he didn't switch his power supplier, and his rate went something from like $200 a month to like literally over $400 a month for like January. And so I was over there and I fixed it. You know, I got him switched over today. But like how, like, where are we in society that we're just like allowing utility companies to like take advantage of like senior citizens? Like, he is a senior citizen. He is over 70 years old. You know, he doesn't know how to log into a website and change his like power supplier. You know what I think it was? I think it was like Christmas lights, Theo. I think they had the Christmas lights on for a while. And again, like, they doubled the power. It was like they paid double. I keep saying, like, we need to go CCP on this. Like, we need to nationalize the utilities. Because, like, you can't expect somebody, like, at a certain age to, like, know how to log in, do the research, and, like, switch your utility. Just because the information's out there doesn't mean they know how to do that. I mean, I'm fine if you want to, like, do better jobs at tiering electricity. Like, your first 500 kilowatts hours are cheap. And then after that, it's like, things go up. If you want to do, like, metered rates, tiered rates, that's fine. People need to keep their lights on. People in Flint had to pay a water bill. It was full of lead. It's just, like, insane, man. $400. This is insane. So I switched it. I cut it. It went from, it was like 20, I think it was 25 cents a kilowatt hour. And I took it to 14. Almost doubled. Your house was underwater and you got a water bill? Did they charge you for all the water? I'm very sorry to hear that, by the way. That sucks. Yeah, it's 25 cents a kilowatt hour. That's the cost to supply it. That's not even the cost of delivery, too. Let's hit him, man. Get him. Do your thing. You good? How much do you pay per hour? I'm going to look it up. Average cost of kilowatt hour. 10 cents in Atlanta? Oh my God. Like I said, I'm on, both he and I are like at around 13 to 14 cents, which is like, not good, but it's possible. Oh my God. They're charging more in Connecticut per kilowatt hour than they are in Alaska. The only state that beats us is Hawaii. You want to know the funny thing, Berserker? is Spain actually owns one of the power companies in my state. A private company in Spain owns a public energy utility in the United States. It's kind of weird, right? Isn't that weird? Like, I'm not being like a nationalist or anything, but that just seems like a conflict of interest. Not surprising? Like, I don't have anything against Spain, obviously. Which one? Let me see if I can look it up. Yeah, I'll tell you. Avon Grid? Somebody else might own it. Iberdrola. When they kind of hide this. There we go. Iberdrola. This is the one. Here you go. It's just like, it's just weird, you know? Like, it's concerned, like they might be the best company to manage the electrical grid in the United States. Certainly, I'm not really, like, extremely trustworthy of United States people managing it. But it just feels weird that, like, a Spanish company is profiting off of the electrical rates being sold in the United States. I don't know. Is that just me? Is that bad of me to say? Might be. Noble Aria, hello. Let's do Switch X. Is that good? I mean, it would be like, what if a United States company bought up the electrical utilities in Spain? The other way around, people would be like, you guys would never let that happen. You're getting charged 0.06 per kilowatt hour in dollars? Fees and credits? Yeah, that's a little expensive. Have I seen Iberdrola's office in Bilbao? They look like Sauron's tower. Bro, all right, seriously, hold on. This is perfect. I used to have a work affiliation with that power company that was owned by the Spanish company. And I kid you not, I was there for a stockholder meeting. It was like it wasn't even a stockholder meeting. It was like a company meeting where, like, you'd give everybody, like, plans in the new year, like what you were going to do, sort of pep rally, also like a chance for, like, everybody in, like, the C-suite to talk everyone. And they got the CEO of Iberdrola to, like, video in or get a camera. And it was like, hold on. Let me see if I can do it. Give me a second. I don't know if this is going to look okay. This may or may not look okay. Oh, Jesus, I'm screwing it up real bad. Oh, it's real bad. It's a weird bit. You know what? The more disheveled, the better. He, like, showed up on camera wearing, like, a goddamn robe with, like, an ascot and, like, a cigar and, like, a glass of wine. And he was, like, talking down on us from, like, a massive screen projected on the wall. Just, like, fully wrapped up. It was weird. He had, like, a goatee and everything that was, like, waxed. It was weird, man. It was real weird. He looked very, very wealthy. It was not John McAfee. I've got static electricity and my headphones are crackling now. I'm not saying he's necessarily a bad person or that the company has bad people or anything else. It's just concerning. And they used to have the highest electrical rates, like, in the country. Well, up there, outside of, like, Alaska and Hawaii. So like it was even more sus. Foreign-owned entity selling power at a higher rate than anyone else. It's sus. What are you gonna do? Am I like... Oh, I'm 187. Thank God we're almost 188. That McAfee story is real messed up. I knew he was kind of like a crazy guy. And then I heard about the hammock. And then I heard about the hole he cut into the hammock. And I'm like, I was never the same since. Do you know Riot Games is responsible for most of the US having access to fiber optic? I did not know that. And if that is true, thank you, Riot Games. I mean, I thought that was something most... So it's a weird story because like my understanding is the utility companies were given money to lay out fiber. And they kind of did, but then they also like never brought it to people's homes. It's only recently that they're doing it. And I think it's only happening because of the bill that they just passed. The infrastructure bill. But that's just a guess. Maybe it is right. You read it somewhere? I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they had some lobbying done. I'm sure they're like, you know, in the space of competitive games, people that have like real internet have more fun. But just based on the timing of it, it felt like it was more of like an infrastructure thing. How do I fare? It's cold, man. You anywhere inside of this polar vortex? I'm going to take it. I mean, we're getting to minus 17 degrees Fahrenheit with the wind chill. Which, oddly enough, I think that's pretty close to minus 17 degrees Celsius. I think there's a point where, like, the numbers converge. Is that it? Minus 40 is the convergence point? Okay. Not that cold yet, but you know, it's getting there. So is anybody else going to play Rise at all before the title update, or are you just going to wait to see what happens to see if it's even worth it? Meister Streamer Mansion's chilly. I actually turned the temperature up. I turned it up to 65. Gonna wait to see if it's worth it. I mean, everybody can fight Velkhana. Whether or not Valstrax is worth it or not, quote unquote worth it. But I think of Velkhana, it's a pretty good fight, but honestly, it's one of those fights that's like kind of really designed for Clutch Claw. I know that's a weird thing to say, but there's definitely moves where you're intended to use a Clutch Claw to get out of the way. If you're on PS5 version, then you're sitting breezy. You've probably done everything you need to do at this point anyways. Is he gonna get fished? He might get fished. Xenoblade Chronicles? Which one? Like the Switch remaster? I bet you that's a fun game. I really like Xenoblade Chronicles. I tried to play the Wii U one, and I did not like it at all. Can somebody here convince me that I really need to go back and give it another shot? I didn't like that I had to make my own character. It feels like whenever you make your own character, they have like so much less personality. And then there's the gacha lolly waifu one, and that one does not appeal at all. That one I don't want to play at all. That one seems awful. Nope. Something a good jump in the air. Oh, I'm not even invincible right now. Stream of Xeno X would be good? Well, that's literally the one I'm saying that I think sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong. Someday I will be in streamer retirement. And when I'm in streamer retirement, those are the sort of games I would likely be playing. Mad Queen hello, long time no seen. Has it been a while? Doesn't feel like it's been that long. Well, welcome back. You don't believe me? When I'm in streamer retirement, I'm not going to be playing Monster Hunter all the time. I'll still play it. You don't believe me? What do you think I'll play in my streamer retirement? What age is streamer retirement? I don't even know if it's even an age. The status. Roguelikes? Well, I like those too. Fortnite streamer? Yeah, obscure RPGs. That's like what I'm into. Just brain warding, silently staring at the screen, mumbling the text to myself. You know, I used to know someone that would take serious offense to whenever somebody referred to Basil as a B-52 bomber. Because while B-52 sounds good, I guess it's not a very good, like, analogy for, like, what that plane was like. Were they in the Discord? Pretty sure, yeah. They're like, it's not a B-52. I mean, at that point, it was too late. I mean, it's just like calling Sergio Steve. I mean, the groupthink had already taken over. So whatever else calls it, a bomber's a bomber? Can I just say that, like, actually, you're very much right. Like, you're actually, like, 100% correct. Like, I care. It's a bomber. Yeah, you're right. It's true. I don't really care. Stream a weird RPG if the title update? Just kill your channel for a little while? Sounds like a good idea. I'm looking up the B-52 right now. Honestly, I'm looking at a B-52 right now, and, like, that looks fine. It's a kind of a large ship. You know, like when you look at this, you know, I don't even know what they are on. I mean, take a look at this picture here. That was somebody that was maybe a little bit too much into airplanes. Like, look at that. I mean, that's like a chunky ship, right? Drops bombs, it's big. Like, that's roughly like winged body mass for like a Basil. Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. Yeah, I don't know what the guy was on. 187. Where did you get that grayscale photo of Basil from? From his Insta. That's an XB52. All right, we found the guy. Excuse me, streamer. That is not a B-52. That is technically the XB-52 Stratofortress. Get it right. You dropped this. Your Reddit moderator status. Put that on. Just the facts. I get the people that are like really into military history are like really into military history, and like I can't take that away from you. You know? What kind of build we're running? We were just doing a full chaotic build here. I don't know, can you even see it? But... You'll do one more Rajang? I don't really know. There's like, what do I need? Hold on, I gotta look at something. Random BS Go style? No, I mean, I put everything on there that it needed. Random BS. I'm brain warning, but like not in that way. Afflicted Dire Cortex, Afflicted Dire Hardclaw. I used to have a picture that had everything on it. And I don't have it anymore. Basil Espinas Gore. You know, it's saying here that Espinas drops it at 171. That's kind of interesting. It's pinned on the Discord. I'd have to actually go to the Discord. I don't think I have any of those. Well, I guess I might have an Espinas. I mean, that looks fine, right? It's good enough. What is he got? Ice? Like, no idea. He's gonna be like one of the most annoying afflicted in the game. He's like the same as like Silver and Gold and like Zenogre. What's my opinion on Espinas coming in mainline? I mean, I guess it's neat that, you know, they're willing to reintroduce monsters that were in Frontier. Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's nice. Would I rather have a way to continue to play Frontier? Sure. I'd rather have that. But I mean, hey, whatever. It's cool, I guess. I don't know. Your dog is farting. I'm sorry to hear that. Ryukodora, when? I mean, It's possible. Sure, why not? Ruko Diore is the magnet dragon from Frontier. His weapons had combination dragon paralysis. There are other ways to play Frontier, though. Yeah. The ways you should play it, you can play it, probably shouldn't. It's not worth it. Not the magnet spike. It was actually, yeah, you had to do a, you had to fight like a Ruko Diora for like the magnet spike unlock. But the funny thing is, by that point in the game, like you'd already like completely slaughtered many Ruko Diora. It's kind of weird. Oh no, why am I going here? You want Excel Axe in mainline. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not like there's anything wrong with having more weapons, obviously. But they seem to struggle, at least they seem to struggle in World with even having enough unique weapon models for, like, the main weapons, let alone adding more weapons. Magnet Spike was weird. I mean, Frontier's a great game in a lot of ways, but it had a lot of weird things going for it as well. I still think it would have really benefited from something like Seasons, like in Diablo. Although I guess that would have been really bad with, like, its monetization. But the constant upward treadmill, I don't think did them any favors in terms of balancing the game. You saw it a little bit at the end of World, where, like, for some reason they thought that there was a need to just do, like, a never-ending arms race for, like, more power. More bugs? Yeah. Southwest Queen is cool. The Scorpions are interesting. And a new ranged weapon that isn't a bowgun? I mean, they've had, like, art in the past in the art books of, like, boomerang-looking weapons. Pretty sure. I gotta be careful about that paralysis. No problem. Longbow, and it's just Gen 5 bow. Just charge up to level 4 and shoot one shot. Oh, I'm out of Blood Blight. Oh, this is bad. I don't know how you kept me alive through that, but bravo. Durham Burst needed impact? For the horns? I think you could shell those. The humps, definitely, you could, like, shoot with a bow or whatever. Oh, for the tail? I don't think so. There we go again. Maybe Greatsword was not the right choice. More impact weapons would be amazing. I'd rather that than a ranged weapon. I'd be okay with a hybrid weapon. Hybrid ranged, hybrid melee. Dual pistols. I mean, that sounds cool, but that doesn't sound very Monster Hunter. Sounds like it'd be too mobile, right? That was a joke. Okay. There's people out there that really want that, though. This is a weapon that requires you to be melee range to reload? Have you been playing Dauntless? They've got that, and they literally have that in Dauntless. That was the joke. Okay. All right, we're having a bad time tonight. You can't, sometimes you can't tell. Well, Fume definitely saved me earlier. I was dead. Well, I'm also dead now. Whip sword would be cool? I can't tell if you guys are screwing with me or not. You screwing with me? Wind element would be cool? That was in the manga. Whip sword guy is definitely a plant from EA. Definitely like an AstroTurf to count. Go back to your video games. Whip sword and Dauntless? It's in a game coming out in 2 weeks. I'm just getting my ass kicked. Thank you, Fume. Xanatar hits hard. Dauntless has like a longsword whip sword. Is that game PS exclusive? No, it's actually cross-play and cross-buy. There's a lot of things I don't like about it, but that aspect about it is actually pretty good. A regular chainsaw. Yeah, I want that. If I made a Monster Hunter game, it would have a chainsaw. It's a fully automatic gun. What's the Dauntless whip sword? It's like the longsword. Not cross. Did I say cross-buy? I'm sorry. Cross-play, cross-save. Hi, Rajang. I need to restock. I've been like sucking down all my heals. I'm not talking about Dauntless Longsword. I'm talking about Wild Shards Longsword.